Hey everybody, Michelle is back. I want to get back and make a correction to sometimes, like I said, I have this speech. Sometimes I used to have speech issues where I was stuttering and da 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 da, and sometimes I mix up my words, and sometimes I have an issue with enunciation, and then I'm speaking so fast. Ooh, I may say something wrong, and I like to correct myself. So when I said the people of color or the carriers of heredity heredity properties. Okay. Yeah, heredity. The components of the structure of the DNA is what I mean. Okay, so whatever. Isn't that a great movie plot? God damn! Wow. Ooh. So, that's what I wanted to come back. I just want to come back and say that for the scientists and these mad scientists are in back rooms and mixing formulas. People of color have always been experimented on. Okay, and they'll lie and say no, no, and plus the people that have done this stuff in the past are probably dead, and the people that are pass on this information because nobody is revisiting information that was taught to them. They just take it as face value. Okay, well, so and so did, and he said it works, and this is that. Nobody is doing it. Nobody said like, wait a second, because the results should raise the. Sound the alarm. Okay, sounding the alarm. Okay, that when these sexually frustrated, mad, and pissed off scientists were in these back rooms and stuff, like I said, pissed off because the women didn't want to be with them. Okay, and I'm just gonna say the women didn't want to fuck them. Okay, that's it. And the women were paying more attention to the Adonis, and they usually were of color, and something beautiful about them that was drawing their attention to them and not to these mad scientists and these intelligence. The women wanted to learn the intelligence and the knowledge of those type of men, but they did not want to be with them. Okay, this is my theories and opinion. Create a movie on it. You know what I'm saying? It's a conspiracy theory. That's what I'm throwing out right now. Some conspiracy theories. Hey, since we like to be entertained, don't we? Don't we like to love entertainment? Okay, here's something to consider. So, people of color are the carriers of heredity properties. So, and like I said, we have these mad scientists, in back rooms and mixing formulas and experimenting. The syphilis experiment, the Jim Jones, don't drink the Kool-Aid experience, the COVID experiment. Okay, and all that stuff is coming back to haunt, because I'm going to assume, and I'm going to throw out a conspiracy theory, that all black women were injected with some type of cancerous cell. Henrietta Lakes. As a part of an experiment. Because they possibly figured out who were the carriers of heredity properties. And so so every black woman, I can guarantee it, once these mad scientists realized that, were injected with a cancerous cell. But guess what happened? You created a monster. Because now every woman has that cancer cell. Every woman. Now, whether it develops or not, it all depends. And that's the mystery of life that every individual needs to investigate on their own via meditation and try to figure this stuff out. Okay, people are, messengers have done everything in their power to come forward and help us. Nobody's listening to them. So now you have to figure it out. You're going to be on your own to figure this stuff out on your own. Okay, no one's coming to help again. No one's coming to help again. You're going to be on your own and trying to figure stuff out on your own on a planet that's dead and dying. Or dying. Okay. Your food is going to be poisoned. Your water is going to be poisoned. Animals are going to turn on you. The atmosphere is going to turn on you. Via a volcano here, an earthquake there, flooding here, surging water here, brush fires here and there. Again, these mad scientists and these psychopaths, sociopaths, who did not know who they were, who and what they are and why they are, instead of using information of development, because they've been receiving help too. They didn't know that they were impulsed with ideas on how to help humanity, because that was their duty. But no, they get in these back rooms, like I said, feeling all sexually frustrated, instead of paying attention and realizing who they were and how they are. They would have known that, okay, you eventually it'll balance itself out in reincarnations. So do your duty and do what's necessary, and your future is certain. But nope. It's always about me, all the time, and my needs. That's what it's been all the time, about their needs and the attention they wanted. Because the Adonis, everybody's paying attention to the Adonis. The Adonis of today are these superior athletes, which are usually of color. That's where everybody's attention, or these entertainers, these celebrities. They call them celebrities now. And these scientists that are mad, and some of these other sociopaths, psychopaths, narcissists are pissed off because nobody is paying attention to them and their intelligence and their IQ. And so that's why it's always been an experiment to tear down people of color, and more importantly, black people. So who knows what's happening in Africa? When these so-called concerned billionaires are over there doing, who knows what they're doing over there? I don't know. I want somebody to show me what's the difference between show me in real time what's the difference between a cancer cell and a non-cancer cell. What's the difference? And how would I know the difference? So who knows what is happening over there in Africa? But what I do know is that all of these countries are being drained of their resources. And more specifically as well, the Caribbean islands, including Puerto Rico, because Puerto Rico want to be separate and sometimes feel as though they're more superior. I don't know. Maybe that's an assumption, or is it the Dominican Republic who think they're more superior and better, a version of a Spanish? They're you have a Spanish descent. You're a Spanish descent, and you split it yourself up too. A lot of people be so worried about what black people are doing, or black Americans are doing. Other cultures have split themselves up too. Spaniards more so than any. You got the Dominicans, the Puerto Ricans, the Cubans, the Hondurans. You're still under the same. You're still Spaniards. You still, But hey, that's my opinion. Yeah, if you want to say it isn't so, say it isn't so. And of course, there's Africans mixed in every culture, of course. you know, and that's fine. It's no different than anywhere else. It's just we are so dominant in color and just in our color and our I know a lot of people say melanin. I don't know about that part. I really don't know. I don't discuss all of that because I don't understand that concept. But it's a pigmentation is obvious. I should say that the richness of our pigmentation. So you can never hide the fact where we've been, and that's part of the culture as well. If you think about it, and how you could connect and communicate. So, all this, like I said, all this interference is coming back to haunt. And it's from those that were supposed to, their duty was to help humanity and help to develop humanity based on their higher level of consciousness. Because they are scientists. And scientists are seen as they are seen as a high prestigious level of human being because they're supposed to help, but they're not. They're not helping. Okay, like I said, they went to school working on dead people, and so they see us all as cadavers. They don't see the humanity in all of us, even the insects, even in the animals. We think that's why we were experimenting with animals like nothing. Like animals didn't have the same type of qualities in them that we as human beings have. They just have an instinctual quality, animals and plants and all those other things. It's an instinctual thing. We are a little bit more developed as far as in a creational energy source, where we are to be in insistence to these other animals, trees, flowers, fauna, and flora. We're supposed to be assisting their process of developing. But no, we were interfering with that too. Creating, consolidating certain seeds together and creating another form of food source, but in most cases though, everything was nefarious. It's about how to profit off of this kind of technology, and how to profit off of, it's always about enriching an individual or a group of people. Because like I said, they're I keep saying it, but it's true. They're sexually frustrated. They're not getting the attention they deserve. So they seem, because all the work and all the knowledge they have. Now, they have knowledge, but they're not superior. In other words, they're not above me or below me. Your IQ means not a goddamn thing. Your intelligence means not a goddamn thing. And so when you're on that kind of level, a higher consciousness level, you're supposed to be picking up a lot of sensing and receiving, but you're so you're not aligned with that at all. All you're aligned with is your materialism, your materialness. You don't understand that there's a sensing and receiving inside of you that's an energy, a creational energy. That light, that's kind of, that, like I said, that's a miracle area. Everybody calls that the sensing and receiving of like miracle, the miracle stage of development, because of the things that can be done. But instead, and Egyptians understood this as well. But again, it's always about narcissism in all cultures. It's always about narcissism. Okay, the Egyptians understood the cosmics very well. Okay, they were able to calculate and and kind of and new formulas to consider and to use to forecast stuff. They were great with forecasting. So that's why the pyramids were built. But the Egyptians did not build the pyramid. I hate to, spoil people and spoil your illusion and delusion. But the Egyptians did not. I repeat, the Egyptian people did not build the pyramids. The pyramids were built by, I think they were considered like slaves from another galaxy, from another planet. That's why we can't recreate pyramids, by the way. Has anybody ever noticed that? A lot of people have attempted to build the pyramids as they are, and they have not been able to, because the pyramid that we are, that we glorify all the time, and it feels so proud because they were built. So we assume by Egyptians. They were not. They were not built by Egyptians. That's why they cannot be recreated. They were built by people from other planets, and these people were kind of like slaves to these narcissistics. They're narcissistic so-called leaders all over the galaxy, and causing terror as well as we are here to humanity, and causing mayhem and destruction. So that's how the pyramids. That's why the pyramids cannot be recreated. They were created, again, the pyramids in Egypt were not built by Egyptians. They were not. They were built by another race of human beings from another planet. Okay? Contemplate on it. Don't ruminate. Meditate on it. Create a movie on it. Sounds like a good plot to me. So a lot of people getting all proud and say, yeah, we did that. No, we did not. No one on this planet had any involvement with the pyramids. They were performed by other people from other galaxies. In another universe, another planet, I should say. All right? And so there's some nefarious. So the pyramids were built for proper reasoning to avoid a particular asteroid that was projected. The Egyptians were able to calculate that there was some type of asteroid that was coming through, or some type of cosmic event, and so they had the pyramids built in order to protect themselves from that. From the forecasting. They forecast something. They were great. Egyptians were great at forecasting, weather forecasting, yes, and working in alignment with the planet, and in alignment with the energies of the stars and the moon and the mountain. Working in alignment with that, so they were able to forecast better than NASA will ever do. And NASA is a fraud to me, but that's my opinion. Don't fraud? Whatever. I'll just get out of that. The atmosphere and the space that is owned by private people. They've already colonized everything. They colonized the moon and the Mars. They just felt like, okay, just like they colonized everything else. They decide, okay, well, let's go colonize the Mars and the moon. They're going to get a rude awakening by that. They're really all this colonizing it and just staking claim to things, and they're going to figure that out as well. In the distant times. Mm-hmm. Yep. So, again, the pyramids were not built by Egyptians. The pyramids were built by other races of human beings from another planet. Okay. Now, but however, like I said, the Egyptians were great with calculations and formulas and knowing how to kind of discuss matters among themselves, and create certain barriers to protect themselves from cosmic events. But all that knowledge got lost because, again, there's always a greed factor that comes in. That's what we keep doing. We keep forgetting who we are, what we are, and why we are. And so we always make it as grand that one is better than the other, and it gets into this competition where it becomes nefarious, always nefarious. And the same thing with MU, Mike Uniform, and the Atlantis. This destroyed themselves completely, and remnants of it will be found sometime in the distant future in the bottom of the ocean near Florida. I mean, if it hasn't already, that civilization just blew the hell out of itself, with all this fighting, infighting, because somebody wants to be more important than the other. It's always been about the ego. Always about the ego and who wants to control people, who doesn't, and who can, and who won't. That's the nature of planet Earth, unfortunately. And I'll come back a little later and talk a little bit more about the fact that why we are here on planet Earth. Okay, and there's nothing glamorous about the reason why we're on planet Earth. Okay, all right. It's nothing to, if you realize why we're here on planet Earth, you'll understand the seriousness and the problems that plague us, and why we are on the verge of destroying that's because that's the nature of and that's the whole idea of why we are here, because the powers that be, or however people want to say it, other human beings decided, okay, it's time to get rid of these kind of people. We've used them enough. They've done enough work for us. It's time to destroy them. And how are we going to do that? We're going to allow them to destroy themselves. And that's proof of it, because we're in constant war. We're in constant fighting. We always want always want to use things for weapon, like HARP, a weaponizing weather. Now, if that doesn't sound insane to you, I don't know what does. And if that doesn't frighten you, I don't know why it doesn't. In other words, they can pinpoint areas to where they want to, if they want to destroy that person or destroy these people, they can. And Haiti was perfect. But they realized in 2010 it didn't work because they want the land. They want the Caribbean land. Who is they? I don't know. Figure out who the fuck is they. Okay, and I told you the map, that map that's sold to us and claimed to be accurate is not accurate. That map is off, well off, where it makes certain places and regions easy targets directly in the line of fire. Now, if that is not a good movie plot, I don't know what the fuck is. God damn it. I'm saying, since we love entertainment, how about entertaining that? I'll be back.